final game of the Super Wild Card weekend. And the final game that I believe, or the game that I believe was the most hyped and most anticipated game throughout the entire first round of the playoffs, the Cowboys versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Cowboys dominate the Buccaneers, surprisingly, 31-14. Yes, there was no magical, freaky, weirdo, supernatural Tom Brady comeback. Both teams started off pretty slow offensively. Dak Prescott started off 0-4 or 0-3 on his first passing attempts. Then Brady and the Bucs couldn't get anything going. His first pass was too high. They tried to get the running game going, but Michael Parsons was immediately in the backfield on the first drive. So both defenses came out to play. The offenses was stuck in the mud, but eventually, thankfully, the Cowboys got things going, and they got things going on this particular drive. Tony Pollard runs for a 5-yard run before he's tackled by Antoine Winfield. And once the Cowboys were able to get the running game going, that's when their whole offense started going, because they've proven to be more dangerous when they're running the football. The running game is so important. It's so important. Tony Pollard runs up the middle for 2 yards. Dak Prescott completes a short pass to Noah Brown for 3 yards. Tony Pollard runs for 18 yards. And then Dak Prescott hits Dalton Schultz for a 22-yard touchdown pass. And then after that, things started going well for the Cowboys. They started dissecting the Buccaneers defense through the air, punching them in the mouth on the ground. And Tampa Bay's defense, as good as it is, they've shown some vulnerability in the running game this season. Teams have been able to hit them in the mouth by running the football. The Cowboys are basically doing whatever they want on offense. And then the Buccaneers score. Tom Brady hits Julio Jones for a 30-yard touchdown completion. It was a beautiful throw. And I'm like, okay, here we go. Here comes Tom Brady. Here comes the weirdo, magical run that he's about to, or comeback that he's about to go on. Because Tom Brady talks to Jesus at night. I thoroughly believe that. He talks to Jesus. He's had a pretty cushy football life by being on great teams and playing in a crappy division. And how ironic, how funny is it that the Bills and the Jets and the Dolphins become good again? Well, the Jets, they have some talent. They made a little noise this season. I'm going to be positive and say that they are finally going to take off. But Tom Brady ends up in the NFC. How funny is that? Like I'm telling you, he talks to Jesus at night. But thankfully, that didn't matter. The Cowboys come back, drive down the field. Dak Prescott throws a short pass to the left side of the field, and CeeDee Lamb was able to create yards after the catch and run in to the end zone for an 18-yard touchdown. And after that, it was pretty much over. The Bucs scored in garbage time. So yes, the Cowboys surprisingly dominated the Buccaneers. Thank you, Dallas. Thank you, Dallas. And I've always liked Dallas, so this was really good to watch. It's really good to watch. Dak Prescott, 25 for 33, 305 yards for touchdowns. He had a rushing touchdown. The Cowboys went for it at the goal line, which I thought was stupid, but they cashed it in, thankfully. I thought he was phenomenal. I thought he was great. When Dak Prescott is getting the ball out of his hands quickly and hitting receivers in the middle of the field, short intermediate throws, I think that's when he is at his best. I don't think he's very good at hit wide receivers on out routes and throwing it in between defenders in the middle of the field. I just don't think he has a whole lot of arm strength, and he could be really inaccurate at times. But in this game, he showed up and played pretty well, I thought. Tony Pollard, the back who has been better than Ezekiel Elliott for quite some time, even when Zeke was starting, 15 for 77. He was targeted 3 times, had 3 receptions, 12 yards. I thought it was pretty good. Ezekiel Elliott, 13 attempts, 27 yards rushing. He was okay. When the opportunities were given to him, I thought he cashed in. Dalton Schultz, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb, 68 yards, 1 touchdown. Michael Gallup, 46 yards, 1 touchdown. So yes, this Cowboys receiving core and this offense dominated the Buccaneers, did whatever they wanted. Defensively, for the Cowboys, Michael Parsons was Michael Parsons. He blitzed 4 times, had 1 hurry, had 1 sack, got 3 pressures, 3 combined tackles. He is definitely becoming one of the top 5 pass rushers in the league, if he's not already there. Me personally, I think TJ Watt is the best pass rusher when healthy. But yes, he is definitely making a case for being a top 5 pass rusher in the NFL. The Cowboys defense was flying around, did a pretty good job of tackling in the open field, not allowing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receivers to create yards after the catch. They constantly got in Tom Brady's face and made him uncomfortable. So just a dominant performance for Dallas. Now the Bucs. Tom Brady the GOAT, air quotes. He's not the GOAT to me. He never will be. I made a video on him not being the GOAT a few months back, I think before the season started. 35 for 66, 351 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 INT. He did not play well, so put this in the collection of decent and bad performances by Tom Brady in the playoffs and Super Bowls. Put this in the collection. He did not play well, I thought, just like I thought he hasn't been playing well all season. I thought in the second half he was worse. He was really inaccurate. He threw some passes that were behind the wide receivers, over the wide receivers. He had a bad interception in the red zone. I don't know where he was going with that. But this is the greatest of all time, you know. Rachaad White, 7 attempts. Now, of course, in fairness to him, you know, like I said, the Cowboys did do a good job of pressuring him and making him uncomfortable, and did a pretty good job of smothering the receivers. Rachaad White, 7 attempts, 41 yards. He was okay when given the opportunities. Leonard Fournette didn't really do a whole lot. We'll just leave it at that. Chris Godwin, 13 targets, 10 receptions, 85 yards. Julio Jones, 11 targets, 7 receptions, 1 touchdown. I guess Julio is not going to be what he used to be. When the Buccaneers signed him in the offseason, I thought if he could stay healthy. Well, no. I thought that with the signing of Kyle Rudolph, I thought that would be big for the Buccaneers. Thought him and Brady would create that Gronk and Brady-like chemistry between the two, but he hardly saw the field. And then I thought teams would try and take a chance on playing one-on-one with Julio Jones, given the fact that he's not really what he used to be. He can't really stay healthy. Mike Evans would also be a problem. So what would teams do with Kyle and Mike Evans? I thought those two would be a real headache for defenses. And of course, you got guys like Russell Gage and Chris Godwin, but that didn't come to fruition, thankfully. Mike Evans, 11 targets, 6 receptions, 74 yards. Him and Brady really couldn't get on the same page, and everyone else stayed quiet. Defensively, for the Bucs, they got smashed. They allowed the Cowboys to have 128 yards rushing on the ground and 305 yards through the air. So just a beat down. Thankfully, no stupid Tom Brady magical comeback. None of that happened this time, which was great. So the Cowboys, I picked them. They were one of my Super Bowl picks, but I think Philly is going to be the team to come out of the NFC. But if I'm wrong on that, fine. I've always liked Dallas anyway. And as far as the Bucs are concerned, Tom Brady, go home, stay home, go away. I'm sick of you. You know, I don't really hate Tom Brady. I just don't hate him like legitimate Brady haters do. He's just annoying at this point. I just want him to go away. You know, now I can enjoy the postseason because I don't have to worry about this guy winning another championship and, you know, oh, he's the GOAT. This is why he's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. You know, seeing a bunch of stupid documentaries and NFL Network playing a bunch of old Tom Brady games, and I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that anymore. Okay, just go home, retire. You've divorced from your wife. Go bang some hot model who went to your aid, that hot chick that was criticizing the team and defending Brady. So go have fun, go live your life, go take care of your kids, and just stay out of the NFL and stop irritating fans like me. Go home.